One of the toughest things to talk about is money, whether you're talking about your family's budgets or a city budget. But those of us who are working in city government know in times like these, we really have to talk about city finances, as difficult as that is. But our citizens have a hard time understanding what we're talking about because our finance system is more complicated and we have to follow rules that people in their own households never have to worry about. So it's tough stuff to talk about. But people are worrying about taxes and they're worrying about services. It's a time when we need to be responding to those concerns with good information that helps them understand. So here's some suggestions for ways to talk about your city's budget. First of all, begin with the end in mind. What is the point you want to get across? Be sure you know what you want them to understand and articulate that clearly when you start your answer. Don't wait to come to your point at the end. Second, have a goal, something you can say about what the city is trying to accomplish, a priority statement for the city's council. Make sure that you have words that you can use consistently to describe that goal so that whenever you talk about it, people hear essentially the same thing. That reinforcement will help the citizens understand what it is the city is trying to accomplish and what it has in mind as it's wrestling with the difficult budgetary issues. If you're going to talk about numbers, remember that big numbers are just mind-numbing. We've all heard numbers that involve millions or billions of dollars, and they just don't make any sense to us. So if you're going to talk about numbers, break it down into terms that make sense for your individual constituents. One good way to do this is to do something that's based on per capita or per household expenditures. That will help your citizens understand how that money is being distributed, and it will help them understand that it's being spent to provide specific benefits for them and for their neighbors. Help your citizens understand as well the way that city and county and state finances work. Being in local government, you can take hits for something being done by another local government or by the state. You may need to help people understand who's assessing what tax or who's providing what service. One of the ways that may be helpful for doing this is to work with your staff on some simple graphic representations, something so that citizens can look at a chart and see what money goes where or which services are coming from which government agency. If you're going to have to talk about tax or fee increases, say so up front and tell the truth. Let people know that you're looking at having to increase a particular tax or fee and tell them why. This will help them understand what the city's wrestling with, and it helps to diminish unreasonable opposition because you've already provided them with all the information. They know what you're doing and they know why. The same thing goes for cuts that you may have to take in popular programs and services. Let people know they're coming and let them know why. The other advantage of doing this is that it helps citizens participate in the budget process and fight for things they really care about, but do so intelligently and rationally. And that's actually a really good thing, not a bad thing at all. If a constituent asks you a question and you don't have the answer, say so. It's so much better to say, I don't know the answer to that question than to try to make something up that you find out later on was wrong. If you tell them you don't know, assure them that you'll get the information and then make sure that you follow up. And finally, in terms of things to remember, remember that one of your roles, perhaps your most important role in difficult times, is that you are a facilitator of the education of your citizens about government. They need to understand the government and the way it works and the way it's financed in order to be able to be effective citizens. So help them find the information they need. Direct them to staff. Direct them to your website. Direct them to the other resources that your city has available. And make sure they know that you're open and available to help them get the information that they need and that you're interested in hearing their ideas. There's nothing that helps to build trust more than an open door and an invitation to walk through it. There's no question these are very tough times to be working in city government, and it's not going to get easier for a while. That's all the more reason for every one of us working with our citizens to help them understand these tough times and how we can work together to get through them. It's a good thing you're doing the work you're doing because we need leaders like you to help us through these hard times. Thanks for what you do.